Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget Extra. We are going to finish up the last set of pages in here as far as getting them covered. We'll still have more work to do, but we worked on the right side last time. We're going to work on the left side this time. And the final bit that we have is these two pages here. So we've got this done inside and everything. So I have got some things ready to go. And what I did, let me just start by, we'll just go ahead, we'll get this backing paper on first. What I did was I cut a piece of backing paper that would fit all the way up to the top of my tab here. And then I just held it on there and drew around it. And so we just need to cut that out and then we can glue it right on there. I'm going to cut just barely inside the line. Just kind of do my best at kind of following along so that it looks nice when we glue it on. And you know, on something like this that you're going to use it forever, you do want to kind of take your time so that it looks good, so that you're happy with it. Okay, so now that should fit on here. All right, and that fits on there pretty nicely. I'm just a little bit too long, so I'm going to just take a little sliver off. Now I need to see so I don't mess it up like I did the last time. All right, a little sliver off the top and the bottom. A little sliver here, a little sliver here, and a little sliver over here, and then we'll have just a little bit of an edge all the way around. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and just take a little bit off. But making sure that I take it off the top and the bottom instead of the last time that I cut one like this. I took it off of one side and then it didn't center on the part right here, and I hope that you could hear that because I was kind of over a bit, but so there we go. I like the way that that looks. We're going to put a little bit of blue on here and a little bit of blue on here. If I can find my, here it is. So we're just going to go around the edges here. We have a little bit of pink sticking over from the other side, and that's totally fine because we're actually going to put a pink piece of paper on here too, so it'll just all blend together nicely. I want to make sure that I get that blue on there far enough. I forgot I'm not just edging this, I'm just actually getting the blue on here because I don't want the manila file folder to show through. I want the blue to go all the way to the edge of my paper. It doesn't have to be solid color. As far as, you know, lighter spots, darker spots, that gives it some interest. Okay, and that's going to fit on there just like that. And I'm going to edge this really quick too with the blue, moving my book out of the way, because it really just does, you know, you'd think it doesn't really make a difference, but, you know, to me, I just really like the way it looks with the edging on it. Because you can see the difference. Even though someone just looking at it may not notice. My daughter always used to say that, you know, like, she didn't really notice that it didn't have it, but when I put it on there, then she noticed that I did have it. You know, she really thought it looked just more finished. And edging is just really all personal preference. But so there, we've got that one edged now, and if we look at it next to this one, you know, you can just see that that edging just does kind of bring it out just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on, and then we're going to make a double acetate pocket to go on top of this one. And that's going to be windows on both sides so that you can put pictures in there. You could put a pretty tag in there. You know, to start out with, you put a pretty tag, and then, you know, when you find something that you want to put in there, it could even be like a ticket that's got writing on the front and the back that you want to remember something, you know, that you did. We're going to get this way out to the edges, get it good in the center, and hopefully get it lined up well. That is the one thing I do like about the Fabri-Tac. It grabs really quickly, but it also gives you enough time to just slide things around a little bit to get it exactly where you want it. There we go. So now we've got that like that. And this is for the other side. We're not going to, while we're edging in blue, we'll go ahead and we'll do this one also. As a matter of fact, this one, it's not as dark, but this one has already been done. I guess I just must have forgot to do that one, or I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Alrighty, that's going to go there. We're not going to put that down yet because we have something that's going to go under it. Alrighty, now for this side, we're going to make a double acetate window. So what I've done is I have cut 2 pieces of acetate, and I have cut 2 pieces of paper that will go on each side of the acetate so that we'll be able to have a pocket on our acetate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put those on like that, but we're going to cut the paper first. Now I've marked my paper 1/2 inch all the way around, and it's going to go like this. Okay, so you can either mark it on this side and cut it on this side, because then it will flip correctly. Because if you don't cut it exactly right and you cut them separately, they may not match up. And if you do that and they don't match up, you can just go in and you can trim them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front side to the front side like this. So that way, after we've cut it, this hole will be exactly here, this hole will be exactly here, and when you put this on top, they will match up. So you don't want to do them like this. You want to make sure that your sides are together. And then you can, I'm going to put just a little piece of washi tape on it, just to hold it in place. I can turn my cutting board easier than I can hold this in place the whole time that I'm trying to cut all 4 sides. So I'm just going to tape this down because it's really, you know, the sides are very thin. They're just 1/2 inch wide. So we'll put this on here. And then I'm going to just use an X-Acto knife and a ruler with a metal edge on it, so that I don't shave my ruler. If you use a wooden ruler or a plastic ruler, your blade, if it's sharp, will shave the edge of your ruler off. And then I'm just going to line this up with my line as best as I can. And because we're cutting them both at the same time, I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm off just a little bit on either one and they're not going to match, because this way they're for sure going to match. I'm going to come over here and do this one. And I'm trying not to cut past my line. I just want to cut to my corner here because this is all we have left. So we really don't want to have a slice in it if we don't have to. Just like that. And then get this last one here. If I can. Okay. Take that one out. And take that one out. Now we can keep those pieces of paper for something else. Now we're going to go ahead and take the washi tape off. Ooh, that washi tape holds pretty good. There we go. And what I'm going to do before I get too much further is I'm going to mark this top. I'm going to do the other one too. Because as we're kind of messing around with them a little bit, I don't want them to get off and have to figure it out, although it can only go a few ways. Get this final piece here. There we go. Alrighty. So now when we flip them around like this, top to top, they should match up pretty much perfectly because they were cut at exactly the same time. So those will match up like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our acetate, and I'm going to just wipe it down. Let's grab a couple napkins here. I'm going to set one of these aside. I'm just going to wipe this acetate off to make sure that it's clean as it can be. Okay, and then I'm going to washi tape the acetate, which I cut just a tiny bit smaller, and you can cut these any size that you want them to be. You can even make your edging a little bit wider if you want to. Excuse me. My acetate, I'm lining up right at the top because you don't want it to catch when you're trying to put something in it. Now, I pulled out some washi tape to match this, and I had it here somewhere. There it is. Okay. I'm going to set that piece of acetate aside. This is my darker side, and so I have this washi tape that's pink and purple. And I'm going to put the purple side on, and I'm going to try and make it about halfway. Try and make it pretty straight. There we go. Just cut it off right here for now. And then I'm going to put my piece of acetate on, and I'm going to, fold that tape over onto my acetate. Now the reason that I'm doing that is because when you're going to try and stick something in this pocket, even though the acetate's going to be glued down, you don't want to catch that acetate as you're trying to put something in there. So if you have washi tape on here, then when you're trying to put something down in there, it's not going to get caught on the edge of that acetate. So there we go, we've got that done. Now we're going to get the other one, and I'm going to wipe it off too, just because I've already cleaned them with glass cleaner, but I just want to make sure that I haven't got them messy. There we go. And now I'm going to take my other one. Oops. Before I get the acetate, I'm going to put the tape on, and on this one I'm going to put the pink on this side. And making sure that I put it at the top. Just like that. And then put the acetate on. And my paper is just, it's exactly as long as my acetate, but it's about 1/8 of an inch wider on each side. And that is so that I'm gluing not just on the acetate. When I glue them together, I'm gluing on the paper because the paper will hold together better than the acetate will. So there we go, we've got that one all set. Got a little bit of glue on there. Okay, now we're going to take the two and we're going to put them together. Okay, and I'm going to just glue them with, now you don't want to glue the part that you taped. And because we've got the paper on both sides, I'm just putting the glue on the paper where it sticks out just a little bit further than the acetate. And then on this end, I'm going to put just a touch of glue under the acetate. If I can get back in there. There we go. Whoops. This one. There we go. I'm going to press this bottom part down with my napkin, not the sides because that's on the paper. Okay. And I don't have any right here, so I'm going to make sure I get some right there. And then I'm going to put a little bit across the bottom of the acetate, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, except this time I'm going to put it underneath the acetate first. There we go. Give that a press. Oh, well, I'm doing good. Okay. Line that back up. Find a place that does not have glue on it. Press that down. And then on the edges where the paper is. And you can go a little bit on the acetate on this one, but not much because you don't want it to squash to the center. But we want that glue on the paper so it glues the papers together. We don't want to go much on the acetate because we don't want to make our pocket too much smaller. And we don't want to have enough and then across the bottom. We don't want to have enough that's going to squish out either. Now, the fun part is trying to line them up, but they should line up because we cut them together. Start right up here at the top. I need to slide it over a little bit. And down here at the bottom, I need to slide it over a little bit. Okay. There's a little something right there. Thank goodness it's on the outside. Of course, if it's on the inside, you can always work at it and get it out. Oh, sorry for blowing into the microphone. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a double-sided pocket, and with this double-sided pocket, you can take something and put it right in here, and you'll be able to see it on both sides. And so now we're going to tape it into our book with our same tape that we taped across the top, and that will make the whole thing have a frame around it and match it up a little bit. So I'm going to get that tape, and because it's going to flip like this, I'm going to firstly put the tape on the outside edge and the bottom edge. And this is just for looks because I have more here that's going to cover the whole thing. So actually what I'm doing is, because I did not center this when I did it, but the bigger part was on the inside, so that was okay. But now I want my edging to be all about the same. So what I did was I put just about as much purple down here as I have up here. So those will match. And I am going to just cut this right off. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with the pink that I just cut off. But I'm going to try and put it on there so that it's about the same as what's at the top. Just like that. And because we glued it together, this is just for looks. So it's okay that it's not wrapped around. At the top you want it wrapped around because that's not for looks. That is to keep your opening not sharp where the acetate was. Alrighty, and so we're going to do that again. Now we have to decide, as we're doing this, do we want it to flip this way or do we want it to flip this way? Now I'm thinking that if it flips this way, when you open this up, it's going to flip all on its own. But if we secure it here, when you open this up, it's going to just lay itself right back down. It's not going to automatically open. So I think we're going to do it on this side. So we'll just do that exactly the same way so that we just have about the same amount of purple on the side. And it looks like I made that a little wider, so I'm going to check the other side and see how far. No, it still comes too far. I don't want it to come that far. I might as well just cut it off first. There we go. And then we're going to line this up and put it on this side. Just like that, and cut it off. You could wrap it over if you want to. Let me see here. Just like that. It pretty much blends in pretty well. And there we go. And now we're going to put it in the book with the washi tape. So we're going to put this in. Did I do that wrong? I did. I wanted it to open this way, didn't I? Well, it is now going to open this way because that's the way I did it, and it really doesn't hurt. It was a decision. It wasn't has to be one way or the other. So, because this is a flip, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the edge. all the way down, and then put the washi tape on. Just to make sure that we get it nice and secure. There we go. Cut that off. I have little bits of washi tape everywhere. I should have a little washi tape book to stick them in. It'd make a cute background. I've seen people do that before. Okay, and then we are going to take this. Before we decide where we want it, we might as well get the glue on it first. Put glue on your washi tape to make this hinge nice and sturdy. Make sure that you've got your opening at the top. I don't like the way that's lined up, so I'm going to just take it off and do it again. There we go. That's lined up nice. Yep, that looks really good. Give that a press, and then turn it over, and we're going to put another piece here. A little bit of, get that off, a little bit of glue on just on the edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue right on my paper here so that when I put my washi tape on, if it sticks, I don't have to try and peel off just this half to put glue on it. I'll turn this way so that I can, that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to try and cut this fairly straight. And I'm going to line it up with the end as best I can so that I don't have to cut that end off. There we go. Now cut it off here and hope I get it pretty straight. There we go. We're just going to push that down like that. Please excuse the phone. I looked at the telemarketer. And then I'm just going to kind of burnish this down, just using my tape. You can use the edge of your scissors. You can use anything that you'd like to kind of just spread that glue around. Sorry for shaking you. It's a little bit lumpy, so kind of moving it around and, like, I don't know how to say it, leaving a little bit of texture with the glue underneath, but instead of a straight line of texture, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a nice little like pattern to it. So that's that one, and I'm going to check the other side too because it's got a straight line on it also. Well, I can't say it's a straight line because I don't do anything that's really straight. But yeah, that just puts a little bit of texture in that glue. I don't really want, I could squish it right out. I don't really want to do that. And when it dries, this texture might not even show up. But just in case it does, I don't want it to just be a line. So there we go. Now we've got this pocket that we can stick something into. And it goes both ways. And if you want to put a picture back here or something, you can. Got something on there. Excuse me. And I just think that's really cool. I like the double-sided. I think sometimes you want to see both sides of something. Maybe you even want to put a picture in there, but you want to write all the information on the back. So you put the picture in there. Then when you flip it over, you can read all of the information. So if this is closed and we open it up, it's going to open up like that. And then you'll just do like that. So let's see here. It's been a half an hour. What do we have for the next one? We'll see how we can get through this next one, if we can get through it quick enough. Alrighty, now this is going to go here. Now, we're not going to be able to get through this one fast enough, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come back and do another one for that last page. And then once we get that last page done, we're going to start working on the cover. Once we get the cover done, we'll put some embellishments in it. So we have a few more to go, but it's not too bad. We're getting really close to the end. I'm liking the way that it's turning out. I really do like the way that this double page turned out. And if you don't like the way that it does this, you'll know, make sure that when you put your tape on it, tape it on this side, and then, but then again, if I'm, going to shut it, it might kind of flip out a little bit as I'm trying to shut it, and then I'd have to hold it in so that I could shut it. So maybe it's not bad that I did it this way. That might have been a good idea. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will be back with this last page tomorrow. Thanks again, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.